A very good morning, students. We are in our regular class lecture, and the subject is field geology. The topic which I will try to cover is the guidance for geological report, and the book which I referred for this topic is the course in mining geology by Arogeswamy. So let us get into the heading. So in this class, I will try to give you a broad framework and guideline for the geological report writing. And the following framework will serve as a general guide for mastering data collection during the field examination by the study of yearly report and paper related to the deposits. That includes reports on the geology of the adjoining area wherever it is available and of the mines in neighborhood as well as for the laboratory data. So let us see one after other the main headings that has to be covered in the geological report. The first one is the title of the report. So before writing a report, you should have a title which should just match with the content that you are going to write. Say for example, if you are going to do a study on the laterites of the Karaikudi area, then you can give it a name like laterites of Karaikudi, which is in Sivanga district, Tamil Nadu. So this is how the title should be mentioned, and if you want to do a detailed work like the age or all such thing, you can just add upon those things in the title. There is no any issue. The second one is the introduction, in which you have to explain why you are going to do this work and how you are going to do this work. So these are the two main questions that you have to answer in this heading, that is the introduction. The next one is the area. So this heading will cover its location, the general topography of that area, the geomorphology of that area, the drainage type and the land use and the soil cover, all such a thing, especially the fauna and flora. So to explain all such thing, you can use the aerial photograph, which can be very useful for you to explain the topography, geomorphology, drainage and all such a thing. So this is the third heading, that is the area, in which you have to explain all these details. And the next one is the location. So in this location heading, you have to explain how you can access the area of study interest. And this shows the accessibility using road or railroad or any other way through which you can access the area which you had given the report, right? And the next one is the previous work, which is quite important, because in this thing heading you have to explain if anybody had already worked in this area, you have to give up to what extent he had worked and what is the interest result which is interesting to you, and why you are going to do that work again, and up to what extent you are going to do that work, and how you are going to do that work. So all such a thing you have to explain in this heading, that is the previous work. So without reading the previous work, it is quite possible that you might be repeating the same work which I did already. So it is quite obvious that you have to go for the previous work, so that will be useful for your work, and that will also give you a generalized idea about that area. And the next heading is the acknowledgement, that is especially you have to thank those facilities that is served by an individual or an organization. You have to thank them, and you may also thank those who had advised you for selecting the way of geological approach or whatever it is. Like you have to thank your geologist, co-geologist or driller or chemist or whoever it is who had helped you, and you have to mention up to what extent he had helped you. Also the thing you have to mention in this heading, that is the acknowledgement. The next one is the regional geology. So in regional geology, what you have to explain is the overall geology, that is structure as well as stratigraphy of the entire area. For example, if you are dealing with Karaikudi area, you can go for a wider extent, that is you can explain Sivanga or even further extent how the structure and the region geology of this area in overall extent. So after understanding the overall, that is the regional geology of that area, that will give you insight and a generalized idea how the working area will be, and if there is any difference you can explain what it could be and how the difference will be. So this will help you in understanding the generalized structure and stratigraphy of the surrounding area. The next one is the geology of the area. So in this you have to explain the rock types that is encountered in your area, and for that you can go for the large scale mapping, say for example 1 is to 50,000 5,000, and if the results are quite interesting, you can go for even further detailed mapping like 1 is to 200. Likewise, you can go for it. And in this thing, you have to explain the petrography and the structures which is there, like primary structures. They could be there like bedding plane, current bedding, whatever it is. If it is present, you have to explain what are the primary structures it is there. And you have to also explain the secondary structures, whether it is microscopic or megascopic. You have to explain it, like there could be foliation or lineation or fold fault or all such a thing that you have to explain. And you can also go for the petrological studies, like if there is a presence of clay mineral, then you have to go for XRD, and all such studies have to be taken place. And the results of this heading of this studies will be mentioned under this heading, that is the geology of the area. The next heading is the mineralization, which is the primary important of a geological work. So in this thing, you have to explain what is the type of zoning in this area, if it is present, and how the, if there is an intrusion, then how the wall rock is altered, and all such a thing. And if there are presence of gosen, you have to mention how the gosen, the texture of the gosen. And if you are interested to know further down, then you can go for pitting and trenching. And if the results are even quite interesting, then you can go for drilling, and the samples, core samples, has to be analyzed chemically, so that you can get a generalized idea how the minerals is there as a mineral presentation presence here, or if so, then how the mineral will be. The next one is the geochemical sampling. So which thing, in this thing you have to explain the direction of grid line. So because in geochemical sampling you have to go for sampling using grid method, so you have to divide the area. So in this you have to mention what is the length of the grid, and what is the sample interval, and what is the sampling procedure that you are going to do. And also you have to indicate the background value of that generalized area, and you have to tabulate the values of individual elements. And after getting that, you can go for contouring. You have to present a geochemical map using the values. You can generate contours, that is a contoured map, and you can present this in this thing. And you have to interpret that geochemical contoured map with the help of the structure as well as the geology of the area. And the next one is the geophysical survey. So if the results in the geochemical survey, geochemical sampling is interesting for you, then you can go for geophysical survey. In this you have to choose the method which is suitable for your study. For example, if you are studying the sedimentary basin, then you can go for gravity survey. And if you are interested in groundwater, then you can go for resistivity or SP method, whatever it is you can choose. So as the geophysical survey is quite expensive, if the previous headings, that is the geochemical sampling results, were quite interesting, then you can go for this, and you have to choose the proper method for your studies. The next one is the drilling. If the drilling is carried out, then you have to mention the following data, that is the RL of the borehole, that is the reduced level. Actually, at what height the borehole is fixed, that you have to mention, that is the RL. Then whether it is a vertical borehole or inclined. If it is inclined, then you have to mention what is the angle of inclination or what is the orientation, you have to mention. Then the thickness of each of the formation, whatever it is encountered in the borehole. So all these details have to be mentioned if the drilling has been carried out. And the next one is the petrogenesis and oregenesis. So in this heading you have to explain how the rock as well as the ore mineral has been originated. So for such a thing, what you can do is you can give a note on petrogenesis and oregenesis as made out from the field as well as the laboratory studies. And by using the map and thin section studies, and if you are interested in polished section studies also, you can go for that. And the origin of the rock, if it is igneous or metamorphic or sedimentary, that you have to mention. And you have to find out the chemical and mineralogical composition of the rock. And after finding it, you can go for like norm calculation or Nigli calculation or any other graphical representation, so the reader can get a generalized idea about that region. The next heading is the suggestion made for the. As you had worked this area for a long extent, you can give a generalized suggestion, that is best method for mining on that area. And as you know, the strike, dip and other structural aspects, as well as if there is any variation in thickness, all things you know. So after understanding all such things, you can give you can suggest a best method for the mining. So that has to be mentioned in this heading, that is the 14th one. The 15th one is that if you are going to mine, you have to work for the polish section studies, which will be helping you in finding the best method for ore dressing. So to separate the ore from the gangue mineral, you have to go for to find the relation between the ore and the gangue, whether what is the structural contact, that is the textural contact between the ore mineral as well as the gangue mineral. So after understanding that, using the polished section studies, you can go for the mining, then dressing, ore dressing you can do. The next one is the description of the sampling. So in this heading, what you have to do is you have to mention what is the type of sampling and how the samples are. And from this sampling method, you can go for the type of reserve, whether the reserve is a proved one or probable one or possible one. And depending on the status of exploration, you can give the answer whether it is proved or probable or possible. And after such a detailed study, you can mention it whether you can go for mining in a present rate of exploration, or you can just keep this as for reserve for the future use. The next one is the groundwater. So you have to give a generalized paragraph about the surface water as well as the groundwater of that area, because you have to create a settlement over there for your for your exploration work. So there should be a good supply of water, right? So all those future planning has to be done. For that, you have to give a generalized outline of surface water as well as groundwater, and the work will be complete unless followed by a summary and conclusion. So this portion should be briefly describing the finding as well as the recommendation that has to be made for the finders that can be tested. Okay. The next and the last one is the references. So there will be a list of references to be given, and this should include the name of the author with initial and date of publication, and the title of the paper or the book, and the name of the journal with particular like a volume number, page, etc. So these are the 18 points that is required to give a geological report, and this headings will give you a broad framework of the guidelines for the preparation of report. Generally, all these 18 points may not be in your area. Like you can, if there is no mineral deposits, then you can cut few of the points like that. So these are the generalized idea. You can go for whatever the points that is matching with your area. You can use that point, and if certain points are not related to your area, then you can just skip it. And I hope this will be sufficient for this heading. And if you still have any doubt, you can just discuss with me in the class. Thank you.